VGS video review.
What are you doing in here drinking a beer? You should be in there playing Marvel vs. Capcom 3. How dare you? Oh, dude. Uncalled for. Right in the eye. You know what? We need to sober you up. How about we do a video review of Marvel vs. Capcom 3?
I'm sorry.
Oh my gosh.
Jake and Mike review Marvel vs. Capcom 3.
Ah. Oh. 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 Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is the newest entry in Capcom's long-running Versus series. After taking a 17-year hiatus, a lot has changed in the series, most notably a combat system that feels more familiar to those at home with a modern Japanese fighting games, such as Guilty Gear, BlazBlue, or Arcana Hearts.
And Dead or Alive 2.
Nope.
The same basic concept exists this time around. Choose a dream team of characters throughout the Marvel and Capcom universes respectively. Absolutely respectively. Then have those characters duke it out for your pleasure in a balls-out, frantic beatdown that would make a Michael Bay movie look like Camp Rock 2, The Final Jam.
Hey, I liked that movie.
You shut your goddamn mouth, Mike. Unless you want to tell the folks at home more about this game.
The roster has thinned a little since Marvel vs. Capcom 2, but along with the smaller lineup comes a better feeling that each character has its own unique qualities. Whether you're using the Fantastic Four's powers to smash your enemies with Super Scroll, or breaking the fourth wall and using your health bar as a weapon with Deadpool, you're unlikely to feel that any two characters play exactly the same. And you'll welcome new additions like Dante, Zero, and Amaterasu.
And the dog, Mike. Don't forget the dog.
Yeah, Jake, I said Amaterasu.
No, Mike. You're thinking of MODOK.
Alright, man.
That's mind over matter.
Mike, everyone knows what Marvel vs. Capcom 3 Fate of Two Worlds is. We need to tell them what we think about it. Go ahead.
You think I'm going first? You're going first.
Your move, friend.
Okay, you know what? Let's calm down. Just put the guns down. Everything's cool.
Oh! I'm willing to die today, my friend. Hey, this is crazy. Let's just both tell them what we think of Marvel vs. Capcom 3, The Fate of Two Worlds.
Okay, fair enough. You first!
Marvel vs. Capcom 3 really is a different game from its predecessor. With its new combat system that can make a novice look like a pro, and a pro look like Camp Rock 2, The Final Jam, the game is inviting to newcomers without completely leaving veterans of the series behind.
Vietnam veterans?
Do you think that's what I meant, Mike?
No. I'm sorry.
Anyway, the simplified combat system is what I found most appealing about this game. The days of spending hours at a time practicing that perfect string of buttons and trying to find the best move to launch your opponent in the air with each character are gone, replaced by a specific Make Awesome Things Happen button that functions as both a launch and a continuation of your air combos. With the refined combat and great character selection, this game won us over.
You know what bothers me though? The fact that some characters have alternate costumes that are really cool, but some are pretty boring.
But who would care if you looked different?
Another thing that fans of the series may notice is that a few characters are missing in action this time around, most notably Captain Commando and Strider. What really bothers me about this is we'll probably see them sometime down the road, but I would imagine it will be in the form of overpriced DLC. Unfortunately, not everything in the game has improved so much. Capcom once again proves that they have no idea what they're doing with their overcomplicated and unreliable online matchmaking service. You'll think they hadn't learned anything from Super Street Fighter IV when you see that the much-hated lobby system from that game is carried over, but without any type of spectator mode to keep the other 6 players that aren't fighting from getting bored while they wait and just popping in Camp Rock 2, The Final Jam. A poor presentation like this has me a little worried that we'll see none of this patched and instead we'll get Super Marvel vs. Capcom 3 in a year from now, and I'll feel like an idiot for buying this one. So if you've always really enjoyed watching these type of games but you never really felt like you could compete, this could be the perfect time for you to jump in.
Yeah, we both think Marvel vs. Capcom 3 is a great game, a good rental, and for some of you, maybe even a purchase if you're fancy.
I consider myself rather fancy. Should I do it? Ah!
So, for Jake and Mike VGS, I'm Jake.
And I'm Mike.
And you just keep being you.
Is that how we're gonna finish it?
Yeah, it's a piece of shit. Who cares, Mike?